I need to sleep well. If I don't sleep well, usually as productive as I could. So
Yeah.
that's truly the issue. Yeah, that's truly the issue. So I try to be fresh. I try to be um, how do you say this? Yeah, as rested as possible. If I'm rested, I'm normally very efficient during the day. If I sleep like
Hmm.
say that I sleep 6 hours, I feel really tired. I feel that I'm not productive enough. I feel
Yeah.
not rested. No, 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 I don't. I don't. Let me just send. I don't feel that I'm becoming very, very effective during the day. So yeah, I always try to sleep well, Mickey.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's work a little bit on our textbook, which is a great grammar book, plus the other one that you guys got. How have you read the book, Mickey? The one that we once read, once saw. Remember, there was a short book on
Mm.
grammar.
Oh yeah. Well, I just read the first pages,
Okay.
but now I'm reading the lateral thinking book.
Oh, okay. Well, how do you like it?
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit long. This
Yeah,
book, I
it's
think
long.
that there are around like 500 pages, more or less, and I'm trying to read little by little because I want
That's the
to
best.
understand
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
yeah.
words.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best to digest it because it's very dense. It's like a very
Yeah.
heavy meal. Very, very good meal, but very heavy. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so you need to digest it. Okay, Mickey, very good. We have an exercise here, which is the next part of what we were doing the other day. I
Yeah.
believe the last time we did exercise C, and now we have to do exercise D. So let me go here and I will reduce the screen a little bit. Okay, here we are. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see here. All right, all right, here we are. Let's do this exercise, please. Can you read the first section, please, the instructions, please?
Mm-hmm. Choose the correct answer.
Okay, and then I have joined a gym, but in the end I decided to exercise at home.
Uh, could be I I could.
I could totally yes. I could have joined a gym. Okay, let's read it all, please, Mickey. Can we?
Yeah. I could have joined a gym, but in the end, I decided to exercise at home.
Perfect. Very good. Now let's read 28, please.
Mhm. I've been feeling under the weather recently. You
Recently.
recently. You. Mm, I I feel under the weather. What does mean, teacher?
Under the weather is under a lot of pressure,
Okay.
problems. I'm under the weather. I've been suffering some pressure, some problems, some mishappenings.
Okay. Okay. Could be. You should get.
Uh, Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. You should get more exercise. That's exercise A. Very good. A.
Yes, teacher. Uh,
Yes.
just let me call Mitch again because probably she's sleeping and I don't know. Let me go
Okay.
quickly to her
All right.
room and tell
Sure. No
her.
problem. Yeah. No
Just
problem.
1 second, teacher. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Reminder, please. Yes.
I'm back, teacher. Sorry.
No problem. No problem, Mickey.
Yeah, now she's connecting.
Hmm. Excellent. Very good. So let's do exercise 29. I think she's there. Let me say hello. Mitch, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, teacher. Thank you, I'm fine. And today was a really calmly and chaotic day for all the bad stuff that's happening in the streets today. And well, here trying to relax and and doing some stuff.
It's amazing. You cannot be safe anymore and you cannot be confident anymore anywhere in Guanajuato. This same thing happened in León, in Celaya, Silao. Mickey, you know what happened, right?
Yeah, teacher is horrible. Mm, well, apart of that, I think that there are a lot of fake news too, and that's provoking psychosis. I don't know how to say in English.
Psychosis.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so bad. I think that today only I heard about shooting near or I don't know how to say Central de Abastos.
The local market
Yeah, near of
or
the
the
local
city
market.
market.
Yeah, but yesterday there was a lot of chaos.
Well, I heard the Instituto Irapuato, Liceo Cervantino, and other schools decided to close their facilities today. And Mitch is saying something very interesting. That causes stress in people, even if you didn't suffer anything. I didn't suffer anything. Nothing happened to me or to my family or to no one.
Yeah.
However, I was very stressed out today.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, we don't have classes tomorrow either.
Oh, you don't have classes tomorrow either, huh?
No, they canceled.
No, they canceled our classes until the new advice for that. Then we have to wait. I don't know if we're gonna to change into the virtual classes or any kind or knowledge, but well, I think this kind of events happened in some. It happened already sometimes. Since too many years ago, for each time that some leader from cartel,
Cartel,
uh,
yeah, cartel.
uh-huh,
Yes.
a gambit, and always the followers of these people uh, go to do some uh, scratches, destroys, disturbios.
Yeah, yeah, this wreckages or
Like,
demolitions or destruction. Yeah,
uh-huh.
mishaps.
Yeah, but this is not. I think this is nothing new. I never seen before that this happened in Irapuato. Well, at least since I'm alive, but it happens in a lot of places of Mexico. Well, in all the world, uh, really, actually.
Yeah, yeah, but the fact that now it's happening and it's happening very close. I mean, it's happening here in the state of Guanajuato, not only here in our city. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
This is
here.
new.
One of the Oxos that was attacked is 2 blocks away from my mom's house in Leon. Of course,
Oh,
she's perfectly fine, but she was
Here, barely
terrified.
like eight.
Yeah, I mean it's horrible that we have to suffer this thing for no reason. I mean, what am I doing wrong, right? What are we doing wrong? You guys go to school, you do sport, you are good people, you have great family, you do well, and we have to go through this. I mean, it's uh, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what to think.
it's nothing about us really. All the things have their own. How
Agenda,
can you say raíces?
roots,
The
roots.
root. Everything happened for. for something that it's ligated with something else. And well, I think our only fault of all of this is living here, and that's it. Because we don't have to be no nothing with all these people, but they are danger people. They choose the wrong way, and well, the only thing that we have to do now is take care of us and take care of have solidarity for all the good other citizens or the city.
Absolutely. If you had an opportunity, would you consider emigrating to another country if there was a possibility? Is that something that would cross your mind, or you think that things are going to get resolved, or you say that, well, I can get well adapted to the situation as is? How do
Hmm.
you think about that, Mickey, Mitch?
Of migrate to another country, teacher?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In other words, I think about myself, for example. I have
Hmm.
three alternatives. Things get better. I think of emigrating, right?
Yeah.
Or three, I adapt myself and go on as is. As is is we don't change anything. We say, okay, that's okay. I can live here with all this violence. So
Hmm.
I think that these are the three choices. I don't know if you see any other one. So what do you think of these three possibilities?
Well, I
Mm,
would love to say that the things uh, are gonna be better,
Okay.
but I saw so difficult. Mm, I think that there are so many issues to solve, and everything is accumulating. So probably at the end of my university, yeah, I would like to emigrate to another country, and probably not for all my life, but probably for only well for a month of time, you know.
Maybe a couple of years, a few months, 6 months, 3 months, a few months, a couple of years, maybe.
Yeah, probably a few months, and depending how I feel and all that stuff.
Very good. Interesting. Interesting. What about you, Mitch? What of these three options do you think is going to happen? Do you think things are going to get better? You would consider emigrating, or you would say, no, okay, it's okay. I go on as is. It doesn't matter if things continue like they are.
mm, well, I'm one. I want to make a comment of these 3 points. I think that things can get better, but it's something that I really don't see in very soon. Everything that if there are problems in this city is for things related with money, the government, and the bad share of the correct share of the money in the city, and all happens all these things. So all, of course, we for more things, but if we wait for these problems could fix it, we need more time uh, to see that and to think of emigrating. Yeah, I think all of my generation wants to emigrate to other country. Of course, no, not all can that easy. Others have more possibilities, and in our case, I think we're gonna have the opportunity to emigrate to Canada. And if we had that opportunity, well, at least in my case, I'm gonna take advantage and say things a lot of times and adapt myself but go on as if as is. Well, uh, meanwhile we stay here uh, aún yet.
While we still stay here, or while we still are
Uh-huh.
here.
are here
Mhm.
aún.
Still,
Still, okay. We have to take care more, even more of us. Take care of go easy in the streets, and we have to learning to know how to act if we are in a bad situation. That I hope that never happen things like that to you guys, and at least not that much times.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Yeah, likewise, similarly, we hope nobody of us ever face a difficult situation. But as you said, very wisely and very intelligently, we have to know how to behave, how to act, how to respond if we ever face a difficult situation, right? But
Sí.
what do you say, Mickey? What is the best way to behave if we ever face a hard, difficult, or hazardous situation?
Mm, well, I think that it's necessary to have like uh, clear mind, mm, because sometimes in those kinds of problems, our mind could feel stressed out,
Yes, yes, yes.
and could overthink everything and have fear. And yeah, probably it's necessary to have fear, but that this fear don't affect uh, in a drastic way. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but that
Yes,
the fear don't control us. In few words, doesn't control us. Yeah,
that's very important. Fear doesn't control us. Shouldn't control us, right? So
yeah,
we must be safe. We must be clear in mind, as you said. Must have a clear mind, and if something ever happens, like okay, take the money. Give me your wallet, take it. Give me your
yeah,
computer, take it. I mean, those are things, but you never jeopardize your health or you never put yourself at risk, right? You never jeopardize yourself or put ourselves in a dangerous situation. That's that's very important. Okay.
yeah,
Well, we know the rules. We know the basics, and God willing, it never happens anything to any of us, our families, or our people, our friends. But if something ever happens, as you say, clear mind. Give me the keys of the car. Give me the keys of the well. The computers don't have keys, right? Well, take the computer. What the heck,
hmm,
right? And that's it. That's it. We just go on with our normal life, and that's it, right? I had a friend in college who was learning karate, but he was not black. He was not even violet or purple. Whatever. He was white belt, white belt.
mm,
And one guy attacked him in the street. He was with his girlfriend, and one guy attacked him with a knife and told him, "Give me the wallet." Well, here, give me the school bag. He gave him the school bag. Give me even the belt. Give me the belt. He took the belt. And
oh,
at the end, he says, "Okay, give me the glasses." For some reason, he overreacted when they asked him for the glasses. Well, he tried to hit the guy, and the guy scratched him with a knife, not badly, but in the arm, and tore a tendon of the arm. So the guy had to put on a casket, a plaster on the arm for 6 months until the tendon recovered and got to join the other side of the arm. So he came brave when it was totally unnecessary,
yeah,
and he had to suffer with a moveless arm for 6 months. So poor guy. Um, we told him, Chalio, his name was Rosalio. Hey, Chalio,
mm,
don't ever fight karate again, right? Because if a man has
yeah,
a knife, it doesn't matter if you're black belt. He was white belt. So poor guy. So well, give me the money. Okay, take the money, take the computer, take the whatever you want, and go
yeah.
you know where, right? That's it. Okay, well, we're working on this exercise D, Mitch, and we did exercises A and I mean, we did 27 and 29. You want to do, no, we did 27 and 28, right? You want to do 29, please, Mitch?
Okay. Um, 29. It was hard work getting back from the hospital with my leg in plaster. What means plaster?
Plaster, yeso.
Yes, okay. Um, you should have called me.
You should have called me, yes. I have picked you up. Okay, very good. Let's read it complete, please.
You should have called me. I have picked you up.
Very good. Perfect. I'd have picked you up. You should have. You can say you should have or you should have called me. I'd have picked you up or I'd have picked you up. Both are correct pronunciations. Usually you say I should have to make it faster. I should have. You should have called me. I'd have picked you up. Okay. Let's do number 30, Mickey, please.
Yeah. Uh, right with your left hand when you broke your arm. Could be, did you had to?
Did you have to? Did you have to? Is exercise section B, because the auxiliary is already in past, so
Yeah.
the verb is be. Okay, can you read it, Mickey, please?
Mm-hmm. Did you have to write with your left hand when you broke your arm?
Very good. Perfect. Let's do exercise 31, Mitch, please.
Uh, 31.
Mm-hmm.
You have huge muscle to look up, you know. Uh, you uh, you don't have to.
Perfect, yes. Let's read it all complete, please.
You don't have to have huge muscle to look good, you know.
Perfect. Muscles. You don't have to have huge muscles. Very good. 32, Mickey, please.
Mm-hmm. That could be, that mustn't.
That mustn't be Ted at the door. Uh, that's possible. I would say can't be Ted at the door. He's in bed with chickenpox. It's more precise. Can't be. No puede ser Ted, right? En la puerta.
Okay.
Chickenpox. So let's read it again, please. I'm sorry. That can't is letter D. Please,
Mhm.
Mickey.
That can't be Ted at the door. He's in bed with chicken pox. For example, teacher, uh, mustn't, well, translate to Spanish, sería, will be that, um, mustn't is como, it's like an obligation, right? Or something that
Yes,
is,
no, no debe ser Ted, no debe ser. And there is no puede ser. No debe ser versus no puede ser. Mustn't be is no debe ser. Like, for example, uh, he must not be awake, right? That
mm-hmm.
he's sick. He is sick. He mustn't. Okay, let me put this in. He is sick. He mustn't be. He mustn't be awake. Está
Mm-hmm.
enfermo. No debe estar levantado, despierto, right? But if he's visiting, you say cannot be. No puede ser. He cannot be. That cannot be Ted at the door. That can't be
Mm-hmm.
Ted. It
Okay.
can't be because no puede ser porque está enfermo, right? Can't be. So mustn't is correct in other contexts. when it's an obligation that he shouldn't be there. Okay,
Okay, sure. Yeah.
very good. Let's do 33. Mitch, please.
Yep. Um, you must thrill when the doctor said it wasn't serious. What means thrill?
Thrill, very, very happy.
Oh, okay.
You were excited, you were happy, you were relieved.
Hmm, could be have been.
Perfect, yes. You must have been thrilled. So let's read the complete.
You you must have been thrilled when the doctor said it wasn't serious.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you. Let's do number 34, please, Mickey.
Collins got to stay in bed for 8 weeks. I'd hate to have to do that. Mm, have to?
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect, yes. Can you read it complete, please?
Yeah. Collins got to stay in bed for 8 weeks. I'd hate to have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. If you had to do that, you wouldn't be happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, another way to express some of these exercises is a simple example. If if I had to, I would. For example, did you ever watch the movie or see a documentary about the survivors of the Andes? You ever saw the movie or you ever watched a documentary?
No.
Do you know the story?
Yeah.
Okay, can you give us a quick recap, Mickey, please?
Mm, yeah, well, probably I confuse some information, but I remember that there was a plane with players of volleyball. I don't remember if
Playing with the rugby.
rugby. Yeah, rugby. Yeah, rugby players. I think that they were from Uruguay.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, and well, the plane crashed in the Andes,
yes.
and well, the people tried to survive, and they did things that probably you never imagined. For example, when people didn't survive, well, they ate part of their bodies to survive and to maintain their how do you say heat, calor.
Hit.
Mm, yeah,
But what do you say? People tried to survive and they had to resort to cannibalism. Or
yeah,
what before that? They
and
had,
try to maintain their heat or their temperature.
yes.
And well, at the end, I think that I don't know how they detect that those people were there. Was an helicopter or was a how they detected them?
Okay, well, at the end, three people
Yeah.
decided to flee the place, to leave the place, and look for salvation elsewhere. Because they said they could hear on the radio that the
Mm-hmm.
search efforts were ending. They
Mm-hmm.
said they heard after 30, 45 days or 50 days. I don't recall exactly when.
Mm-hmm.
After day 50, I think. They
Mm-hmm.
heard on the radio, well, people from Uruguay and Chile, we've been looking for the survivors, and after 50 days or 60 days, it's absolutely impossible that they are alive because they had no food and they have not enough supplies to make it. So We are
Wow.
stopping all rescue efforts. Thank you. That's it. So they heard that on the radio, and three
Hmm.
people said, "We're not going to be here just to wait for our death." So they fled and tried to cross the mountains, and they did. They crossed, I don't know, 20, 30 kilometers of mountains, and at the end they found a river, and across the river there was a man on a horse. They said, "Hey, help us, help us." And said, "Who are you? Where are you coming from?" Says, "Well, we had a car crash, an airplane crash, and we are here. There are 14 other people in the other side of the mountains." And they say, "You gotta be kidding. You must be joking." No, that's true. They went in a helicopter and rescued them all. Let's take a quick look, please, at the pictures of the rescue, please. If you can look up the pictures of the rescue, it's a very, very dramatic story. And the picture is just impressive. I find the picture of the rescue, and this rescue. I don't know if you can find the picture here.
Wow.
72 days. 72 days. Imagine, imagine being 72 days um, in the snow. It's not like you are in Acapulco or
Mm-hmm.
somewhere like that, right? 72 days in the snow, and because they had to feed themselves, they had to resort to cannibalism. It's terrible. So these two guys, Nando Parrado and Roberto Canesa, there was a third guy, but he gave up and he says, "No, I'm coming back." Because originally, three people decided to leave the place and go to look for salvation elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Three people. But one came back. One said, "No, I'm coming back." One said, "No, I better go back." And so the third person went back. So there were only two people who actually made it, and they came back with a rescue helicopter. And here is the rescue. 72 days in the Andes,
Wow.
right? So, well, the question is, if I had to, I would. They did, right, to survive. It's a very terrible situation, a very difficult question.
Yeah.
If I had to fight for survival, if I had to fight for survival, or if we had to, I don't know what pronoun to use. If I had to, if you had to, if we had to. All right, I'll use plural. If we had to fight for survival, if we had to fight for survival, Mich, Mickey, we had to fight
Mhm.
for survival. Would we incur in acts of cannibalism?
If we have to fight for survival, we will be incurring acts of cannibalism. Um,
Probably I
oof,
would do it.
You probably would do it, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
because
there, if there's not other option, I think the best option is try to not think of that and do it.
Not to think
Oh,
of it and do it, eh?
mm-hmm.
Right. Did you know that they swore each other that if they ever died, the other guy would do it?
What?
They swore to each other. They
hmm
swore to each other that they would do it. They swore to each other that they would do it. Hey, if I die, don't worry. Promise that you're going to do it.
Mhm.
And if you die, well, I promise that I'm going to do it because it's better to have one casualty, one casualty is better than two casualties. What do you think about this saying, Mitch?
One
One,
casualty is better than none casualties. Of course.
okay, yeah, right. So it's a matter of survival. Then it's better to have one death than two deaths.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a practical way of thinking. Okay. Now, from this situation, which is a terrible situation, of course, what if you had to? What would you do? For example, if you had to, if you had to maintain your body warm, what would you do? What would
You
you do
have
if
to
you?
maintain what would you mm,
Using the example
oh,
of the survivors of the Andes,
Yes, 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 yes. Of course, yes.
probably if I had to maintain the temperature of my body,
hook
uh,
someone. Hook
probably the
everyone.
people that,
Probably what?
uh,
What you would probably what?
yeah, probably I will take the clothes that people that passed away.
Okay, right. Okay, yeah. Some of them did
Mm,
that precisely. What did you do, Mitch?
the same as Mickey. Also try to make fire. Um, how can I say fogatas?
Fire, a fire.
Uh, fires. Also, maybe if there is a extremely situation of cold, I don't know, convince to the other people to we have to hug each other to maintain us with our bodies warm.
Convince the other people to what?
To hug,
To
hug
hug,
us each other. Uh-huh.
to hug each other. Yeah, yeah, which is the same as to keep as close as possible
Uh-huh.
to keep warm, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's what they did actually. They wore blankets also. I mean they tore the clothes of the seats and made blankets to cover themselves. They tore, rompieron, rasgaron the cloth of the seat belts of the seats, and they made blankets to cover themselves. So that's what they did, and it was really, really good. So the thing is, if I had to, what would you do, right? Let's now make the question: if I had to, whatever I would, what would you do, right? If you had to, so imagine something that you would have to do, and what would you do in that case? If I had to, I would. What would you do if you had to?
If I had to,
Mm,
mm, I have to what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Imagine something that you would have to do. For example, if you had to um, uh, overcome thirst, thirst, I would. What would you do? Probably
I would to drink From mm, my tears.
From my tears. Okay, well, yeah, why not, right? I would drink, or probably you can also. I could melt the snow in a jar or container
Oh.
until it becomes water too, right?
Mhm.
You can put snow in a jar, shake it maybe, or warm it up so that it melts. And when it melts, it becomes water, and then you can drink it.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Now let's go to another situation, parallel situation. It's a bit different in the sense that it's in a different place. But if you had to eat something in the jungle, Mickey, and you weren't sure if the plant or not poisonous, um, if you had to eat plants in the jungle, what would you do? You don't want to become intoxicated. However, you need to eat plants, any kind of plants, but you don't know if they're toxic or not. What did you do?
If I had to eat plants in the jungle, probably I would search plants that probably has like a similar appearance with the plants that I know.
Okay, yeah, that's very wise. But well, okay, that's a good response. What did you do, Mitch?
Mm, mm, maybe in the jungle. Well, it's difficult because I have the danger to find some poisonous plant, and I didn't know, but maybe the same as Mickey. Or well, if we can identify some tree to have fruit, or it could be better, right?
Absolutely, yes. Look for a fruit tree. You know what some
Or
people recommend
flowers.
you do? People says that you would look for mammals that eat those plants. In other words, squirrels, antelopes, rabbits, etc. If you see a rabbit eating grass, you can eat from that grass. Nothing's
Yeah,
going to happen to you. So you just imitate the animals, and what they eat, you can eat because they're mammals. And so if they don't get intoxicated, you will not get intoxicated. What do you think of this answer, of this suggestion?
that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because then you are safe. You have no danger in eating the same as another mammal, right? Okay, well, okay, that's all connected with have to or had to, right? All right, now let's do exercise E, please. Can you guys read the instructions?
Yeah, choose the correct answer.
Okay, let's
Um,
move to the five, please.
the doctor uh, could be examined.
Examines, yes. So let's read it all complete, please, Mickey.
The doctor examined the cut on my knee and said it had completely healed up.
Perfect. Very good. Thank you. Let's do 36, Mitch.
Um, Dr. Parker gave my mom a lovely recipe.
Recipe, yes, recipe.
Recipe.
Yeah, for spaghetti carbonara. Yeah, and it didn't give her a prescription, right? Because if it was a prescription, would have been probably antibiotics. Do you agree?
Yeah, medicine.
Medicine is a prescription, but for
Mm-hmm.
spaghetti carbonara is a recipe. Very good, Mitch. So let's read it again, Mitch, please.
Uh, Dr. Parker gave me my mom a lovely recipe for spaghetti carbonara.
Perfect. Thanks. 37, Mickey, please.
My feet mm, are hurt.
Are hurt. Uh, you normally say are sore.
Are sore.
Are sore is a common word.
Sore is like doloroso.
Right, yeah. Sore. So I guess my new shoes are a bit tight. So let's read it again, please.
My feet are sore. I guess my new shoes are a bit tight.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Let's do 38, Mitch, please.
Yeah, I was in shock when I no, I was shocked when I crashed the car, but at least I wasn't injured.
I wasn't injured. Perfect. That's B. B. Thank you, Mitch. Let's do 39, Mickey, please.
Mm-hmm. Diana looks terribly. Uh, Thin.
Thin, terribly thin, yes. Because slim has a positive connotation and thin
Mm-hmm.
is neutral, but if you say terribly thin is okay then.
Okay.
So let's read it again, Mickey, please. Complete sentence. Diana.
But in this case, it's slim or thin.
I'm sorry, what did I do? I said thin was okay and I put A. No, it's B. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I got distracted. Thank you.
Um, Diana looks terribly thin. You don't think she's ill, do you?
Very good. Thank you. Let's do number 40, Mitch, please.
Some drugs produce bad side effects. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you bad side, but the last word I couldn't hear.
Effects.
Effects, perfect. Yes, that's correct. Let's read it again, please.
Um, some drugs produce bad psych. Some drugs produce bad side effects.
Perfect. Very good. Thank you. Mitch 41, Mickey, please.
I was very sad when the vet said he'd have to put down,
Put down Gertie.
put
Yeah.
down Gertie or
Or
Labrador.
right. Very good. That's so sad. Let's read it again.
I was very sad when the vet said he'd have to put down Gertie
Gertie.
or Labrador.
Very good. Thank you. And the last one, Mitch, please.
Going on this diet has really made.
Okay. Made me feel, but it doesn't have the word feel.
Uh,
Made. So to use another one.
uh, have
Has really
Has
taken.
has done me good.
taken me.
Yeah, you. I don't know if I can hear you well. Did you say
Ta-
see Mitch? No, taken me good. No, has done me good.
done me good. How? How that could sound in Spanish?
Esta dieta me ha hecho realmente bien.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, done me good.
Going on this diet has really done me good. I've lost weight and I feel fantastic.
Excellent. Very good, Mitch. Thank you very much. Great. Well, let's move on to the next section, which is a progress test number one. And this is a very interesting exercise. As you can see, you have four similar answers for each blank. So let's try to solve it. Let's see. Well, let's see. I'm gonna reduce the font size so that you guys can see the options below. The history of writing. Somebody wants to do the first, please?
Yeah. The history of writing, the development of writing. Um, I can't see all the words. Mm, Probably. Can you scroll down a little bit, and I'm gonna take a picture and.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna reduce the font a little bit so that it all
Yeah.
fits. It all fits here. There. I think it all fits, right?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Does it fit down to number 15 or I reduce it a bit more? Like
No,
here,
yeah, there's.
here. Okay. It should fit there, I guess. But the font size is very small. I don't know if you can see it.
Could you scroll down a little bit?
Scroll down like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to increase the size now. And we have, for the first one, we have did, had, made, and took. What do you think of number one?
Yeah. Development of writing. Made.
Made, correct.
Development of writing made a huge difference to the word, and we might see it as the beginning of the. Mm, what is bulletin?
Bulletin is an issue, like a small magazine that has few pages, but
Bulletin?
yeah, right.
Oh.
uh, But that's an
Mm,
object, right? Whereas more
yeah.
generic is journalism.
Journalism.
Hmm. Do you agree with that, Mitch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you read one and two, Mickey, the whole thing down to two, and then Mitch continues with pieces of pottery.
Yeah. Development of writing made a huge difference to the word, and we might see it as the beginning of the journalism.
Perfect. Then Mitch, please. Pieces of pottery.
Um, PC. What means pottery?
Like barro.
Ah, okay. Pieces of pottery with marks on that are probably numbers that have been developed. No, have been invented in China. That date
Yes.
from that that date from around 4000 before
Christ.
Christ. Hieroglyphics and other forms of picture writing developed in the earth.
The earth around Mesopotamia.
What?
Hmm.
Around Mesopotamia. Developing the earth around Mesopotamia, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Developing the earth around Mesopotamia, modern day Iraq.
Okay. So let's read it again. Number 3 and 4, please. Pieces of
Yeah.
pottery.
Pieces of pottery with marks on that are probably numbers have been invented in China that day from around 4000 before Christ. Hieroglyphics and other forms of picture writing developed in the earth around Mesopotamia, modern day Iraq.
Very good. Can you continue, Mickey, please?
Yes, sure. Uh, were the antique, antique,
Antique.
antique,
Yeah. Yes.
where the antique Sumerian civilization was based from around 3300 before Christ onwards. However, the first uh, precise,
Precise alphabet, exact, accurate, true, accurate
or
alphabet. I
accurate,
think accurate. I would say accurate is more
accurate.
precise. Accurate is more precise. I would
Uh,
say B.
okay. However, the first accurate alphabet was used by the
Phoenicians.
Phoenicians around 1050 before Christ. Their alphabet had 22 letters and it is mm, estimated
Estimated, correct. It is estimated that it lasted.
for 1000 years.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's continue with this next section, Mitch, please. The first two signs.
Um, that it lies that it lasted for 1000 years. The first two signs were called Aleph and Bet, which in Greek became Alpha and Beta, which gave us the. Could you scrum that, teacher? Okay, gave us the modern,
Modern word
modern,
alphabet.
modern world alphabet. The modern European alphabet is based on the Greek and Spirit
Uh, and
appeared
spread. Appear to? No. Okay.
up spread.
Spread to.
Right?
Spread to. Yes, spread. Spread is the same as disseminated or expanded. Expanded to other European countries.
Mhm.
Okay, very good. Mickey, can you continue, please?
Yes. To other European countries under the Romans, a number of changes
Oh, I need to copy the options.
took
Sure.
place.
Took place. Took place. Yes, took place. Let me copy
Took
that
place
here.
time as time passed.
Yes, exactly. Let me copy the options here down below. I'm gonna copy options from 10 to 15. I'm gonna copy them here, and then I'll increase the font size. Oh, where am I? Okay, here. So can you read again, please? A
Mm-hmm.
number of changes took place
A number of changes took place as time passed.
as time passed. Very good. which is B, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Then Mitch, please, the Romans.
Um, the Romans added the letter G and the letters J and V were uh, were popular and famous. Uh, unknown,
Unknown, yes, unknown,
unknown
desconocidas.
to people in Shakespeare times. If
You,
we
why is it, just very quickly, why is he talking about Shakespeare if we're talking about the Romans and the alphabet?
um,
Why? Do you know?
because he was pretty famous in that era, but
Ye-
not every word know him.
well, that's, yeah, he was very famous, but for a simple reason that the Roman Empire also reached and occupied England. Did you know that, Mitch Mickey?
No, I didn't know that.
The Roman Empire extended up to England. So they say in Shakespeare's time this was unknown. So when the Roman Empire reached England, they taught them the letters J and V, which were new words, new letters to the English people. Okay. All right. So let's continue, please. Number 13.
If
Mm,
we look into
Look into, yes, the history.
if we look into the history of punctuation, we also find some interesting facts. The Romans used to write questo at the end of sentence in I'm trying to show, in order
In order to show, yes.
in order to show that it was a question.
Very good. And then, can you continue, Mitch, please? They started to write.
they started to grow Q O. Could you scroll down, teacher,
Yes.
please? Um, Q spot.
In 15, in place,
Play?
in place,
What means QO?
quo, quo. Remember the movie Quo Vadis?
No.
No,
No.
you never saw it. Okay, Quo Vadis. Where are you going, right?
Mm.
Um, Quo Vadis. Where are you going? Comes from Latin, and then put the Q above the O, and that became the question mark. All right. So let's read the last sentence, please. They started to write, please. Mitch, please. They started.
Uh, they started to write Quo in place of the whole word, and they put the Q above the O in the end that became the question mark. Question mark.
Okay.
Mm.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about this writing of history story?
Mm,
Well, I think that it's interesting because sometimes we don't know like the essence. Can I say it?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Of some words that we normally use, and when you know the history of that, well, you can. Well, for me, I can enjoy more the language, not only in English, in Spanish too.
Okay. Yeah, that is nice. That is nice. Yes. And what do you think about this story, Mitch?
um. Well, I think of uh, everything has their own story. If we look them at the first sight, we don't happen to our minds easily to make us the question what was the story behind all of these things, the well all the facts and things happen to make this thing the thing that it is already in the current times, well, in the modern times. It's very interesting how the things change. In this the example, in this case, the writing, the history of the writing. Um, I didn't imagine the well. Of course, I imagine that happened a lot of things, but I never happened. It never go to my mind to investigate for by myself of this story.
Yeah. Do you ever think about why languages establish themselves and some other languages disappear? So the question is, why do some languages or words, oh, I'm sorry, uh, why do some languages or words establish themselves and others disappear? Some languages like English, Spanish, of course, French, a little bit, maybe German, Japanese, establish themselves on Earth, and other languages and words disappear. Some words even become very popular in other cultures, like, for example, the word burrito. You go to the US and every person knows what a burrito means. Burrito
Mhm.
is more or less the equivalent to hamburger in Mexico, right?
Sí.
Hamburger in Mexico. So, why do these words become so popular? You see words like people say nada, de nada. People say nada in English, and that is a Spanish word. They say um, persona. That's a non grata persona. They say they can say person, of course, and people understand. They can say nothing, and people understand. But these words have become very popular in English. Why do you think people adopt these words in other language?
Mm, because I think that there is like a globalization,
Okay.
and now it's more common to listen and see different kind of words of other languages in our first language. For example, I don't know, karaoke. I don't know how to say in English. Well, karaoke.
Karaoke, right.
Karaoke
Right, that's
is a
correct.
Japanese word, I think. And
I
well, I
think
think that
so.
everybody knows the meaning of karaoke. So I think that we are in a globalization and we used words of different countries.
How strong do you think the impact of Spanish words is in other cultures, Mitch? How strong do you think the influence of Spanish in other cultures is? Do you think it's very strong, moderate, mild, or weak?
The Spanish?
Influence of Spanish words, moderate, mild, which is the same, or a weak influence? How strong do you think Spanish words are in other languages?
Mm, I think moderate because, well, at least in the English speakers, the native or native English speakers look languages like Spanish and French, um, very elegant and beautiful languages. And when someone hear them to uh, talk in those languages, they very admire in some way, to the point to include them um, ordina- in their quotidian vocabulary. Of course, they don't know nothing about the languages because they consider them too difficult. But well, they like it. I think because they consider them elegant.
Hmm. A question for Mickey. Some people consider that Spanish is much harder to learn than English, to the
Hmm.
point that you can make a comparison, right? I have, you have, he has, we have, you have, they have. So when a kid learns the language, right, you say you have to learn five different conjugations in Spanish. If you compare this to a physical effort, you notice that a Latin kid makes much stronger effort to learn a language than an American kid or an English kid, for example.
Yeah.
Right? What do you make of this? In other words, if do you think Latin American children and Spanish children have a brain advantage or a mental advantage of some kind, like a person that makes exercise? If you make exercise, you have a physical edge, a physical advantage over a person who doesn't make exercise, right? For obvious reasons. You are more
Yeah.
fit, you are healthier, you are more, you are physically stronger, right? So you think that a person that learns a more complex language has a mental advantage or psychological advantage of an advantage of any kind over people who have an easier language to learn? Or what do you make of that, Mickey, Mitch?
Mm, well, I'm not sure about it if there's like a scientific
Proof?
research that explain that, but I think so, yeah, because we have, for example, so many. Well, the in Spanish we have more pronouns than in English, so since we are kids, we are learning more words that an American or an English kid learns. So I think that yeah, probably.
Right. And do you think people can capitalize on that? In other words, if our kids make a stronger effort to learn a language,
Yeah.
do you believe that they should exploit that, or maybe it's not so advantageous? What do you think about this situation, Mitch? Do you think that if you make exercise, you have a clear advantage over another woman who doesn't make exercise,
Hmm.
right? Because you are more physically fit, you have more strength, more stamina, better reflexes. Consequently, or equivalently, a kid makes a stronger brain effort, or yeah, brain effort to learn a language. Is he going to have some type of advantage over kids who have an easier language to learn, or there is no scientific evidence or proof of that? What do you think?
I think I don't understand the last question.
Yeah, let's make a physical and mental exercises, right? Exercise, exercise, exercises. Do you go to the gym, Mitch? You go to
I
the gym?
Yes.
Are you more physically able, or you have a better physical capacity than a person who doesn't go to the gym?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, right? Because you do exercise. Mickey the same. But now okay, that's physical. Now let's talk about mental exercise. You learn a complex language like Spanish as a kid. You are 5 years old. Do you think that the kid that learns a complex language has a better mental, not capacity, yeah, better mental performance than a kid who doesn't make so much mental exercise? What do you think? Or it is not so clear or tangible?
Mm, well, I don't think the if you if well everyone as a kid learned our native language, but if we see looking at the society, it sees people in the independent if they know one or two or more languages uh, of all kind of people. It sees the dumb people and intelligent people, and I think it don't re, reflects the results of make physical exercise in this kind. As a kid, I think the kid can absorb more information easily, and if there's some way to make them more exercise, mental exercise for them, they could learn two or more languages at the same time when they were kids. That could help them to exercise mentally better. And it is possible because I know like 5 people who their parents learned them at the same time English, Spanish, and Japanese, other Korean, and they know them perfectly the trip, and they are pretty disciplined. I think. Sorry for the
No, it's just
complex
fine. It's
answer.
perfect. No, that's perfect. It's
Uh,
fine.
I think it depends of each person. In this case, of each parent to um, trained the mentally the the mental exercise from each kid of each person. Uh, it not depends of learn their own language. It depends of a lot of things. But we can't stop of learning. We have to learning and practice every day and every time to continue exercising our brain. And because we have to use it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I consider your argument very. I'm curious to know what you think, Mickey, about the comparison between physical and mental exercise.
Mm, yeah, well, I think that if we're talking psychologically, um, and we compare with how do you physiological? No,
Psychological or
no,
physiological?
yeah, physiological. Uh, well, you learn something with repetition. So, for example, um, Mexican kid that speaks Spanish since he or she born, well, probably he learned more words. He learned more pronouns, and I think that talking grammarly, the Spanish is more complex than English. So I think that yeah, there is an advantage, and obviously there must be a repetition because if you only learn Spanish and if you don't train your mind to keep learning new things, well, I think that you can get stagnant,
Yeah.
and yeah, and it's like exercise. If you don't exercise yourself, well, you're not gonna get a good shape, or you're not gonna get have good health. So everything's about repetition. But I think that yeah, if we compare a Mexican kid and an American kid, for example, I think that the Mexican kid have more advantages. Talking about physiological than that the American kid.
Right, in general terms. People, well, I brought this idea from a different language that is learned in the world, which is
Mhm.
Korean. There was a book that I think I once showed you. I think the name of the book is Outliers. Let me see if I find it. This book has the concept that if you learn a complex language
Yeah.
like Russian, like German, like Spanish, like Korean,
Hmm.
you have better odds of becoming more mathematical.
Mm.
Not necessarily that you will be a psychologist or a sociologist or something the like, but you're more akin to becoming a good mathematician, a good chemist, etc.
Okay.
But of course, that's up to the time when you're 5 or 6, right? Because after that, uh, obviously, there are many ways that influence your behavior. Like Mitch was saying, it's not only the language, but language has a big part of our brain development. The complexity of a
Mm-hmm.
language plays a huge role, and there is some research about that can prove this. So you can actually Google uh, how strong, like let's Google this question: how strong is the learning of a complex language in the development of our brains? So that's a question that is interesting to pose, even on Google, if you wish. How strong is the learning of a complex language? How strong is the influence? Okay, how strong is the learning of a complex language in the development? How determinant? How determinant is the learning of a complex language in the development of our brains? Right. Let's see if Google can answer this question. I'm gonna pose this question with Mr.
Yeah.
Google, and let's see if they how determinant. Um, okay, it says traditional approaches, social brain of language learning. Language is shaped by the brain. Because this book called Outliers states that if a kid, why Korean kids are very prone to learn mathematics, and it says that it's because they learn a complex language since they are kids, and consequently their brains are very, like, if you do exercise since you're very young, you will become very strong quickly, right?
Yeah.
So they make an equivalence with the brain. They say if you learn for example, the Russian is a very complex language, and some of the best mathematicians in the world are from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they
That's right.
think there is a correlation between
Mm-hmm.
being a good mathematician with the complexity of the language. The same with German. There are many Germans who have been great scientists, and they
Mm-hmm.
correlate that with the complexity of language. Well, I'm sure that you're asking, well, why aren't there so many Mexican mathematicians or scientists? Right? You won't believe it, but there are many who are Mexican too. Maybe we don't publicize them so much, but we have many uh, smart Mexicans who are scientists. So let's take a quick look at this diagram, really quick, please, before we go. So let's see.
Teacher,
Yes, Mitch.
sorry for interrupt. At what time the class end today?
In a couple of minutes, 7:40. Is that okay with you guys?
Take your time, teacher.
I
For me,
think
it's
we
better.
started like
Mhm. Yeah, we start a little bit, uh, like 10 minutes
later
after
than.
the hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Well, let's just take a quick look because probably you have other things
There
to do.
are a lot of sirens here. I don't know what happened. Well, you know
Oh,
that
jeez.
psychosis is.
I can hear that,
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
the
It
sirens.
sounds so near.
Yeah, I can hear the sirens. Scary, huh?
Yeah, it's like a
Ouch.
movie.
Happened
I
again.
don't know. It's horrible. But well,
I imagine. Well, let's take a look at this diagram. Traditional
yes, teacher.
approaches, language
Hmm.
system. Can you read that, please?
Yeah. Traditional approaches, language system, memory system, control system. Uh, Methods focus on the individual, pair association, grammar drills, classroom seating, memory for abstract processing, and I can't read the last one.
Okay, it's lab based.
Lab-based intensive training methods.
Exactly. And the second section, Mitch, please. Social brain of language learning. Can you read the second part, Mitch, please?
Michelle was disconnected.
I I think she got disconnected for some reason. Well,
Well, can I read it?
yes, please, Mickey.
Um, Social
Language system.
Brain of Language Learning, SL2, Language System, Memory System, Sensory Motor System, TOM, and Emotional Systems. Methods focused on the social interactive brain. Social interaction with people and objects, whole body embodiment in the learning context, self-exploratory learning in virtual environments, sensory motor engagement, integration and brain changes, development of ecologically valid neuroimaging techniques.
Exactly. Well, definitely there must be some type of correlation between. Oh, here Mitch is back.
Sorry, teacher, I
Uh,
disconnect for a reason. I don't know. For a time I stopped hearing you, but I'm back.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, we're concluding if there is a correlation between learning a language and the brain development. In other words, are you more intelligent because you speak a complex language like Spanish? Or I'm talking about children. When children learn a language, they have to learn 30, 40, or 50% more uh, pair associations, drills, more complex grammar in Spanish than in English. The question, and maybe it's not a question for today, maybe it's a question for research, maybe a question for homework. Does that give Mexican children an edge or an advantage over American children? In other words, because we have a more complex language, does it mean that our Mexican children are more intelligent than the Americans? Well, that's a question for research. Maybe by Saturday, I think we're going to have an answer. What do you think, Mickey? Do you like
Yes,
the
it is
challenge?
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's see what you conclude then. All right. Ask your parents. Ask your parents this question. It's a complex question. They're both very intelligent. So let's see what they think. And you share their ideas on Saturday, please. You guys can do that.
Yes, sure, I do it.
All right.
I'm losing the
Well, me,
signal. Sorry.
you what, Mitch? Can you repeat the question, Mitch?
I think that Mitch signal is not working very well.
Oh, okay. Well, the homework for next Saturday is to do some research, find out if there is a correlation between complexity of language and child intelligence. All right.
Yes, teacher. Thank you very much.
Okay. You're welcome, Mickey. Take care, Mitch. Goodbye. Have a
Thank you so
wonderful
much,
day.
teacher.
Thank you, teacher. You
You're
as well.
welcome.
Mm.
Good night
Enjoy
and
your
take care.
day. You
Thank you,
too.
teacher. You as
Goodbye.
well.
And be careful. Be
Take care.
careful. Don't go
Yeah.
to Oxo this late.
No.
No,
Okay.
no,
No, no.
we have to take it. Come on.
Okay. Take
Thank
care.
you,
See you.
teacher.
Goodbye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
Bye
for
much,
the
bye.
teacher.
class and your
Thank you.
time.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
See
Thank you.
Bye bye.